morning, everyone. It's 5:37 on Thursday, and this is your closing comment. And I don't rant very much, especially not the way that jackass Kramer does, because he does it for effect. But I have never been so disgusted with those jackasses in Washington and how disingenuous they are. They're yammering on and on and on about uh, CVX and the fact that they're going to spend 75 billion on um, buybacks and have raised Chevron raised their dividend 6% to $1.51 a share. Now, number one, these jackasses, and frankly, we deserve it because we don't do anything about it. These jackasses are yammering on and on and on about how uh, they should be putting more money into the ground and drilling for more oil. So either they're incredibly stupid and they have no clue about how it works, or they're disingenuous, as Guy Adami mentioned on Fast Money. Um, because First of all, they're taking their 1% fee on that 75 billion, and God knows what they'll do with the money, because clearly they won't do anything worthwhile with it. And we're in the situation where taking more crude out of the ground doesn't help us at all. We don't have any refineries. They haven't built one since the 1970s. It's just a disgrace, and frankly, you know, we're going to end up paying for it. The SPR is drawn down, and prices will rise again. And prices will of crude will rise, which means heating oil and diesel, and maybe even nat gas will come back a bit. Okay, enough about that. Um, Interesting day in the market. We were very wishy washy ahead of all the news, but the news came out dramatically better than I would have expected. Not so much that it was better on a subjective level, but it was better in that some of it, for example, the GDP number being 2.9 and the deflator being 3.9 versus 4.4, really show that the Fed is actually doing something that is starting to work. What isn't working is that durable goods orders were up 5.6%, and that's a new high from December of 2020, 2.4%. Um, the good part about that is that ex transportation, we were actually down 0.1%. So not terrible versus a little better. Claims, on the other hand, sucked. Uh, Initial claims down again. We've been looking for numbers 200, 240, 260 to show that the labor market, is loosening up a little. In point of fact, down 6,000 at 186, and about unchanged with continuing claims. The deficit continues big. Inventories, okay, neither here nor there. Okay, let me just get to the rest of this. So the Dow was up 205, NASDAQ was up 200, 1.76. That was the big winner. S&P was up 44 or 1.1%. The Russell was up 67, up $12.50, up 60.67%. And the transports were so close to unchanged, it's not even worth discussing. But earnings. So Intel, Another Gonif. They paid Pat Gelsinger 179 million to come over in 2021, just about 2 years ago. At the time, the stock was $66. They reported earnings today. The stock is currently 27.39, down 231, or about 7%. If they gave me the market cap of Intel when they brought him in, it was just over 300 billion. I don't know if I could lose 56% of that, even trying. And yet, you know, he's going to be on CNBC tomorrow morning talking about how great his plan is and how well it's working. Right. Um, Visa uh, beat. Stock closed 224 and change. Um, Traded up to 230, currently 228 and a quarter, up 352, 1.5%. Hasbro with a huge miss, and the CFO leaving, never a good thing, and layoffs. Layoffs for everybody has been a positive, at least for the stocks. So it closed 63.78, traded immediately down to 57 and a half. Last is 58 and a half, and that's down 560 or 9.3%. The aforementioned Chevron CVX 187.79, up 871 or 5%. And Tesla, which everybody said was a dead issue when they cut prices, they've increased sales. The stock is 160. Remember, this stock was 101 6 weeks ago. 160.27, up 15.84 or 11%. And IBM, which reacted very positively yesterday on its earnings news, could not hold on to it in the least. Currently trading 134.45. That's down $6.31 or 4.5%. We have some more news tomorrow, some more economic news. Let's see. We have 8:30 personal income and personal spending, and the PCE price index and the core PCE price index, all things that the Fed is particularly attuned to. And then at 10 o'clock, we have pending home sales. So that's neither here nor there. And of course, we have a multitude of more earnings. American Express before the open, uh, Chevron, CVX, Colgate, Palmolive, all before the open. The chart on the screen, let's see. This is the gold. And the reason that I have it up here is because I want to show you it's had a nice move up. And today it closed down on the day. Not, a whole lot, $13, 12.60. But I want to show you the contrast to the what we're long, which is the silver, which closed up on the day today. Our options, I believe, were down a nickel, so really not very much. But if you recall what I just showed you with the gold, the silver has not really had the same move up that the gold has, hasn't broken out as much, although it did break the little downtrend line here. We were up as high as 24.41 and a half, and while we closed 24.02, we were still up on the day while the gold was down. But I'll show you something else. Not only was gold down, platinum was down, palladium was down. So as far as the precious metals, gold down, platinum, palladium, silver up, and the industrial metal, copper, up 2.3 cents. Okay, so Bitcoin up 135 today. The dollar was up 22 cents. The bonds were down about a half a dollar, and that gas was again down 285, down 7 cents. Got to be a bounce here somewhere, but you can't tell by me. All right, everyone, I'll be back first thing in the morning.